Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Welcome everyone to 5.8G Alive. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus. With me as usual.
Yes, I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. Welcome and good evening to you all.
Okay, we are excited today. Well, we're excited every week. And let me make a special welcome. Long time we haven't said it, Jennifer. I haven't done my map in a long while.
I know.
From Belize across the Greater Antilles down to the Lesser Antilles, Windward and Leeward Islands, Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, Barbados. Of course, Guyana and Suriname, I think, in the Southern American continent. And I said Belize in the North. Welcome everyone, Gael viewers, YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so Jennifer, this week, big things are gone, as our Jamaican brothers and sisters would say. You all would have seen that we have our fantastic forum, our first talk forums on Friday. We are coming out of talking about our legacy.
So on Friday, we are having, as you know, our Creative Legacy Forum with our attorney, Maureen Daniel Braveboy. And we sent out, the usual information on it. And what we did, we put some pointers in areas that we would discuss, but the main forum would be what you want to talk about, your questions. So since we didn't have your questions, we just had some prompts of things that you may want us to discuss. But please, those who are attending, it's good to send in your questions or have your questions available. So when you're in the forum, you would ask them. But I have been making some calls to confirm attendance. And I was asked, but Jennifer, is not, you have to do a will. I don't want to talk about dying. I don't want to talk about death. And I just want to let you all know, this is not about dying. This is not about death. This is about living. Legacy is about living. It's how you want to live your life, what message, what you want to be known for. That is legacy, So please, as we say, legacy is about living. It's what you're doing currently and to ensure that you don't have any problems in doing it.
Yes.
So in case any sort of incident, hey, I am continuing life the way I want it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you just want to ensure, we are not about that. We are not about dying. We are about being alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure, Jennifer, people as they go through their lives, they have questions, little niggling questions. I wonder if this right, or I wonder if that right, or whatever it is. And you think that an attorney is plenty money or too much trouble. Well, hello, just log on to the forum. The link is there. It's just $200 TT or $30 US. And you have a chance to have a full 2 hours discussion with an attorney answering all your questions. And I'm sure that each of us has different questions. So we're going to learn so much from each other.
We're going to learn a lot. Yes.
So that's going to be Friday, 24th at 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. The link is underneath. You have your own chance, and it's an experienced attorney. So that's that. We have been carrying out, we did the emancipation series, and we got into the whole discussion about legacy, and we understand there's the issue of roots. All of us have different roots, whether it is African, Indian, European, Asian, we all have roots. But again, we come to the issue of that your legacy, yes, there's a part of it that's handed to you, but there's also a part of it that you're creating now. And one of the things we found is that for many of us, the thing that really messes up the current creation process is that mindset. You know, we have so many external influences, TV, social media, the people that really cause us to, I think, become sometimes a bit confused as to what and who we are. And Jen and I are over the moon. We're a little bit starstruck because of our guests today. So, Jennifer, you excited?
Of course. So get ready.
So we
Sit
are
back,
going
relax.
we are treating this as a tribe. So you are going to be presented with a wonderful in-tribe session. So let's get with it. Buckle your seatbelts. Okay, viewers, don't get excited. We haven't just disappeared and gone to OMG. And I know you would be looking at these faces and wondering, oh my goodness, what is going on in Wednesday Live 5.8G? Well, we have been talking about getting ready with your mindset, and we're preparing for our forum at the end of this week about creating your legacy. And yes, I know we'll introduce them just now. We have stars too, yes. We said, a lot of people, Jennifer, you know, talk about mindset. It's an entire mindset game. And on this third act, the most important thing for us to get straight is our mindset. And we said, look, who are the best examples of people who continue to blossom at all stages of life, and even on this phenomenal third act, continue to redefine themselves? And we thought none better than the people we have on board. And of course, I'll start with the gentleman who is a great friend of ours. Everyone knows Richard. Richard is so connected to our imaging and everything else. And then we have Penelope Spencer, Auntie Penny, and Cecilia Salazar. Ladies, welcome to 5.8G Live. And Penny, for those across the Caribbean who, the three people who might know you, you could just briefly introduce yourself.
Well, I am Penelope Spencer. I have been involved in theater for over 20-something years. I run Necessary Arts School, and I also do directing. I write. I teach, which is I've been teaching Newton girls for over 24 years, and I've been in every aspect of the plays and the theater in Trinidad for the last 10 or so years. I've been involved indirectly or directly somehow, you know, and I have done plays like America Dance, Jean and Dinah. I have toured all over the Caribbean, and I have a son that I'm extremely proud of and 4 granddaughters that I shout out. Yes. So that's about me, a little bit about me.
And Cecilia.
Oh, cool. Yes. All right. I'm Cecilia Salazar, and I'm an actress in Trinidad and Tobago, of course. And I have been acting like my good friend and sister Penelope here pretty much, since I was 15 years old. Was my first leading production on stage with St. Joseph Convent and St. Mary's College. I like to talk about that because full circle now I started teaching drama classes in said convent that I went to. So, you know, we're talking about legacy and full circle, and that's wonderful. So I teach as well, but acting has taken me to many places and many characters, and to have met many amazing people and directors and Caribbean culture. It's just so much to mention. One that besides America Dance, one that I am very proud of is Miss Miles, the Woman of the World, which I was a one-woman show that I did with Tony Hall. Tony Hall wrote, and I'm very proud of it because it shows that artists as well, activists, that we want to tell our stories, we want to make a difference. You know, we are players on this field. What else? I have 3 daughters. Isabella, Serena, and Stella. No grandkids yet.
Mhm.
And right now, Penelope and myself, as well as Richard, we have OMG Live Caribbean. So we've started a whole new chapter as well as talk show hosts and sharing our stories. So that's it in a capsule.
Excellent. And Richard, I know you're onto your 15th incarnation. That's great.
Well, I am working fashion. People align me with fashion, but Penny and I used to dance together back in the 80s. And that was a special time because we were members of National Dance Association coming from other dance companies, but coming together at carnival time. I really missed how that brought the fraternity of dancers together.
Yes.
I did some theater when I was in Trinity College. I was founding member of our theater community. I love literature and the arts, and I studied French literature right into university. And sociology. So people, I'm passionate about people. I'm mouth-watering about people and meeting them and mixing with them and sharing with them. And so I use the fashion as my conduit to do these brandings and this associating and brand identity stories and storytelling and everything that I like, I put inside of the fashion. And I use the runway as a runway of life to replicate who we are as Caribbean people. I'm a Caribbeanist, very active advocate of why we must be proud of our Caribbean status. So sharing a space with Penny and Cecilia with that kind of mission statement inside of there is a happening thing that every Wednesday we look forward to. And so, yeah, so that's it.
And here we are.
We'll remind our viewers that once we finish at 7, they can skip over to TV6 to see OMG Live. And but you know, one of the things that I want to point out that really makes this interview special in the context of 5.8G is typically when we bring people on, they are going on to their third stage with business that is hard product. They've made something, they're selling something. And you have very few examples of people using their creativity and their creative energy to mold a different person, a different vibe on their third act, following whatever they did on the second act. And we would really like you to talk a bit about that journey. Was it a scary thing for you as you came from that pre-50 to come onto this stage and to continue recreating yourselves?
Well, I would say, I remember, to be honest, when Petrotrin closed down, right? And people were confused as what to do, as well as when this pandemic hit. I always try to look at the positive. True, as artists, we lost everything. We lost all our theaters, all our work, schools closed, well, we were with nothing. But I've always been creative. That's been how I always had to make my way. So that just went back into gear. So like everything else in life, it's something that you develop and you have to work on, your creativity. And so that creativity, it's been very trying, but thank God I have creative friends, as you're talking about, people who are of the same mindset, built a community, and we were able to do 2 online shows. That is Penelope and myself again. We did PC comedy. We'll be doing our next one, so you'll have to look out for that. I have to give it a plug.
Of course.
So we the creative clicked in. And Penny, you take it from here. How I know, because Penny wrote all the pieces. So we are creative together, but her creativity, she creates the whole characters, brings it to me, we read the stories, and we create the lives. And I have realized as an actor that that's what I could do in my life, not only on stage. And there was a book I read a long time ago called The Way of the Actor, that's saying that how an actor creates a character, you can create your life. You can write the script, you can manifest it. So I'm now trying to work on that part and write in my life rather than all the other characters. Penny.
Well, I always say growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And I had to grow up, you know, and this COVID kind of made me grow up in a certain way, because as an artist, sometimes, well, it's never been for me a lot, but you depend on people's productions. You know, you wait until a production company call you to do a play. And this COVID brought us a place where we had to come up with our own plays, because they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're talking about 50 and over 50, but I just never realized that I was there. You know, age really wasn't a factor for me. I was just survival instinct will kick in. And I did that. We did that with PC Comedy 1, we did PC Comedy 2. Then I thought, okay, what next? It's always about what's next. And then I thought about Camp Tippy Tambo, and I bring in my sidekick as well, you know? And it's like your brain trying to generate new ideas, and I don't think age will ever be a factor. And I hate when people say, oh gosh, I'm too old for that. I'm not like that. Oh, please, not like that. Like, and I think sometimes I love working around young people because they bring that, you know, that energy to me. And, you know, so it's always been, what next? What next? What you doing? It's not about, oh, I'm too tired and I can't do. I can't survive like that, you know? So for me, it's just about creating and recreating and making use of whatever is around you. And age will never be a factor. You know, I'm not going to run a marathon because when I was 19, I didn't do it. So I'm not going to do it at this age, you know. I know my limitations, and that has nothing to do with age.
Yeah.
You know, my limitations have nothing to do. I'm not going to let my age define what I do and what I can't, you know. So yeah, that's my thing.
And Richard, what's your story?
Well, I am agreeing with both Penelope and Cecilia. And I play on this word, you know, over the last decade or so. In fact, when this millennium started, you heard the word diversification. And it was appended with economic diversification. But I think when you're in the creative sphere, you are always diversifying. You're always reinventing. And so the other word that came up in the pandemic is pivoting. But we have always been pivoting. So pivoting is not new to a creative mind. A creative mind, whether for survival, as Penny say, or just to live, just to breathe. You cannot stay stagnant, you know, and therefore we always find new ways and challenge ourselves to keep our passion alive, because passion is what really runs in our vein with the blood. Because without the passion, we can't survive. And so that life can imitate art, as Cecilia say, because we can borrow from some of the discipline and borrow from some of the rigor and some of the candor that theater has to reshape our lives, because that's what it is, and therefore we offer that to people as well. So if we borrow it, you know, we got art imitating life and life imitating art, but the greatest discipline is artistic endeavor. You know, whether it's dance, drama, visual arts, there is a lot of precision, there is a lot of dedication that comes naturally with it. And we have that in our bloodstream without identifying it. So we're not going to lose that because we crossed 50. I'm actually saying it.
I was wondering.
You know, and in fact, it's more reinvigorated. And as Penny say, it is not to define us and turn us and temper us. Yeah. In fact, we are more emboldened now, and now we have the responsibility of wanting to share. Yeah. Because in the earlier acts, you mightn't necessarily, you're just about you evolving and becoming. But now becoming and evolving means sharing. And that's where young people and wanting to collaborate with other people become very, very important. It makes no sense being in silos doing anything. It has to be with people. Yep. You know, and so that's it.
Jennifer, I have on a seatbelt now because they touched on so many core things about Connections 50 Plus that I just feel like jumping up and dancing.
Yes, I am listening, and I'm really, I am so proud to have you all on, because exactly what Cecilia said there about legacy is selling stories. This is what it's all about. And I think your creativity, the 5.8 group, we have people who may think that, okay, because they have been used being in the workplace 8 to 4, not tapping in on their creative juices, they will tell you, well, I have no talent. I don't know what to do. I can't do what so-and-so doing. They could do that. They're born like that, you know, things like that. And it shows when you will speak that, hey, you're not too old.
No.
You're no longer on that second stage, third stage, find your creative juices,
Yes.
you know?
And creativity doesn't have to be necessarily dancing, singing, or acting.
Exactly.
You know, look, I put together these flowers. Don't they look fabulous? That's creative.
Yes.
I picked this heart shape. I picked those.
There's
That's creative.
so many things you could do out there, and people just are not willing to open up.
That's just it.
Yeah, that creativity comes at all different levels. You
And
know?
we in the Caribbean live almost by necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
So we find ways. I remember when I was in the Bahamas, I decorated an auditorium by just going to get dry bush and doing arrangements on the table, and the people were carrying on like, oh my God. And I said, no, I could get you some real talented people who decorate tables and so. But I just sprayed some of it with some bronze and copper and gold and got these flourishes of thrown away bush on the side of the road and put them in the center of the table. And they were like, oh my God, your people in Trinidad and down in the Southern Caribbean are so creative. And I say, probably that is an identification that we are, you know. But
I would say that everyone is different. As you say, Richard, Penny, you and myself, we've trained in this, so that necessity and that creative part of our brain is adapted. It's working more than some other people. Whereas my finance part of my brain, that brain shut down, right? So everybody's different.
Yeah.
So if you want to be creative, if you're out there and you want to explore that side, that's the first step. Just put it out there, look for it. You will find it out. Don't be afraid.
I don't think, Cecilia, your financial part of your brain shut down because theater closed down. What Cecilia did, she went and cooked soup and and selling soup
on a Saturday.
Because she had to make money. So, you know.
True. Thank you, Penny. You see, I am doing the same thing about money that a creative does to themselves. Put down that side of myself.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do that anymore.
Talent. Yeah.
Don't do it anymore. Don't do it. Yes. Thank you.
And the thing that came out, Terry, and for me too, when Richard spoke about collaboration, and again with Penny and Cecilia collaborating during the times when, listen, I can't do it alone. I need that extra support.
Community.
Build that community, that push, you know. And it was automatic for you all to say, hey, let's get together.
Yes.
Penny might be more talented in other ways, Cecilia, but we get together and you go out there.
It work. I saw this motivational thing some time ago, and I just it's always in my head now, where they said Usain Bolt did his run in 10 point whatever seconds, but when he ran with the team, they were so much faster.
Yes.
And they did not even realize it. But teamwork it works, because sometimes as an individual you don't have it. So get people around you that thinking like you know, and it will work. Something will happen. But you have to believe.
Yes. That's why I put on my seatbelt, because all three platforms, and this is what we say to our people, so many of our cohort, they just shrivel and go in the back. They are afraid because you might have been Miss or Mr. Who's Who at the second act. And you just don't know how to identify your talents, your skills, which all of that is your creative self.
Yeah.
You have to create something. And out of that skill that you have, you can sell it. I said the dirty word, sell. I said the dirty word, I said it. You can, will, must, have to sell it so that you can have income to continue living. And the only way that you fail is if you try to be a big stone by yourself and not realize you have to reach out to others. And this is why you all together are such a wonderful example of what we've been trying to tell our cohort. Reach out. Let's get together and let's make it
Because
happen.
it's not that we get depressed, you know, we get frustrated, we get everything. We feel hopeless sometimes. I feel like God giving up sometimes. And I allow myself to feel that because it's okay to feel that.
Yeah.
But he cannot dwell and live in it because we become something else. And sometimes people have a lot of family members who have no, you go in a corner and resign.
Yeah.
You know, who are around you that are they motivating you? Are they pushing you to be creative? Because sometimes on your own, you know, you need that kind of push. So a lot of people I know don't have that extra voice to push them to say, go and create, do it. You find families, go in a corner, you're tired. You know, when you continuously hear that in your head, you believe it.
Yeah, you know the three of us don't listen to that. Like, what? It's be like, Auntie, how you know that dance? I'd be like, hey, I watch TikTok, you know.
What is
diversity?
Go ahead.
Diversity. I wanted to say that diversity and inclusivity have become part of the thing. We were always on the edge. We were always different. That word was used since we were young. People would have known that your responses to things are different. And that was the creative genius, or whatever better word, evolving or becoming in you. And you always saw things differently. So you need to channel this seeing things differently to see how it could present resolutions for our life and our culturing and our way forward as Caribbean people, as man, as humankind. So when you get that, that is to me what gives me an added fluid and makes me get a little excited, because as Penny say, we all get daunted. I had real daunting times, and I say, you know something, I have been given something that I need to use responsibly, and I have to maintain that, and I have to do it. And so that has now kept me, because both Jen and Terry knows that. I shared that with them, and they were like looking at me like, you look happy and like happy, and what are you talking about? You have down days? You can't look like you have down days. You look like you're running and skipping and doing that. You have sidekick all the time, and it's way from that. You know, so you have to now be aware of it. So I will tell people, become aware, identify that difference and make that difference count. You know, and that's what I think can make your life feel more meaningful, you know, and invigorated.
And one thing that message that is working for me now when I get down and think of whatever, is living in the now. Practice awareness, practice always trying to bring yourself back to the now and all. Look at this, how fabulous. This is amazing. This is wonderful. Now
I want to show you
wonderful time.
I want to
because when I live if I start to think of all the mistakes I made or choices I didn't make, then you're living in the past, you're living with regrets. A friend told me this, then you're trying too hard to think of the future, you're living with anxiety. I have to practice it. I have real anxiety, so I always have to whole day I'll be, okay, focus on it now, bring yourself back.
Yeah.
That's working.
They say fear and emotions of fear and anxiety would be a focus on either the future or the past, which you can't control, and you can only do the now. And I want to ask these three creatives, there are so many people who hear that, live in the now, forget, and honest to goodness, they don't know what it means. They don't know what it looks like or how to step into it. And I know that for many creatives, when you have to get on stage, and on stage doesn't have to be in a concert hall. Once I leave this house, I'm on stage. I am on stage now. What does a small exercise to get yourself in the now look like? You may be coming out of all kinds of negatives and whatever it is, but if our cohorts, you just you lost your job, the business closed down, somebody have COVID in the hospital, you have to get yourself up and find a skill and do something with it. What is an exercise that can cause a person like that to get in the now and work?
Salazar, you want to go?
Yeah, it's not something that you could just do and it happens immediately. Tell you, I practiced in this for years. And I didn't even realize that even when I was in school doing yoga and different things that you're practicing it. But to me, your breathing is the most important thing. To control your breath and focus on your breath. So focus on your breathing. That would be the first thing I would do. And they say take shorter breaths in and out. So breathe in for 4, hold it, and then breathe out for 8. And try that first as a calming technique, and then try to keep doing these breathing exercises daily, you know, to calm yourself. And then what I do is think of everything I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
That's what works for me now. When I start to feel that way and I take my deep breaths, I say, thank you for the home, food, my family, the health, my friends, you all. And that's what works for me. See, I feel calmer already.
Nice, nice.
What I would say to people is cry. Don't be afraid to cry. Just cry. Cry. It is such a wonderful release at times. Men and women, don't be afraid to cry, you know? And then I would say, and like Cecilia, when I breathe in everything positive, and when I exhale, everything negative. Think about all the negative words, you know, breathe in positivity, release negativity. I will also tell people what day they're in a good mood, write positive
affirmations,
mantra, affirmation, write it. Fold it up, put it in a corner. So the day you're feeling like, you can unfold it and reread it.
I like that one.
Yeah, you know, that's how many things they could do.
Great.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with both of y'all, and in more ways than one. My brother does something called Revaluation counseling. So sometimes he just comes upstairs and he would tell me 3 good things about yourself.
Yeah.
Because he's aware of my shifts and my temperament and so. And I have found that I can say it a little more now, but I couldn't before. It was absolutely impossible. It's absolutely impossible. People would look and say, but how could you not be able to say 3 things that are positive about yourself? And I had nothing to say. I do know about the breathing because in dance, basic dance and dance exercises, which have become Pilates, that's what we used to do.
Yeah.
A short inhalation and a long exhalation.
To relax you, right?
Yeah. And then my friend used to say, breathe in and say, in with Jesus, out with Satan.
Well, there you go, the positive and the negative and the positive.
Yeah, and that is the positive and negative, but definitely thinking in the present, because all of the hurt is from past experience and it makes you wallow and you go into convulsion. But I do believe you need to do a good cry sometime because it's so refreshing afterwards. That if I was thinking very bad thoughts, like suicide, the next day when I do the bowling session, I say, today is so wonderful. Penny is so good to listen to it. So I want to talk to Cecilia and everything else is like a happiness. So it means that there is function and dysfunction to all of things, and it's a balance, and finding a sense of equilibrium is what we need to do. So if you had a cry, and then because you know after the cry, a good day gonna happen, you know. So it's better cry to get to the good day.
A good ball with snacks, a good
hello, a nice ugly cry. Yes.
Don't swell up and red.
And you know, I seek out all these motivational things. I seek them out, you know, like Chopra and Oprah, as we call them, Deepak Chopra. I am always reading those things. There's so many lives that we can draw inspiration from as well. So many people that, you know, out there sending us the messages if we're willing to receive them.
Great.
You know, it's interesting listening to you all with your crying because, Penny, I'm just not a crier. It's just, bawling and crying, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing that.
And that's okay.
You need, I'm now about to say that. For those who may be thinking, oh gosh, how do I cry? But you have to find whatever within you to release that negative energy.
Of course.
And embrace the positive energy.
Go into boxing, get a boxing gloves and do anything, the things you could do, you know?
I agree with you. Whatever way to release all the negatives with you, all those negative thoughts would work.
And this cannot happen if you do not value yourself. Everything starts with you valuing yourself. I am beautiful. I am, I am worthy. You have to know that. I mean, I hear about this case yesterday with this woman who had this grandchild and the child got killed. Yeah. And this woman is saying he's been in her house for
18 years.
8 years. Yes. I mean, how can you value from the time somebody tell me I'm gonna chop you up out of here because I value myself, I value my life. And yeah, everything starts with
it sounds so simple, but it takes people a long time and a long journey to say I love myself and I am worth it.
And that's
work on it every day.
Community is important.
Community, and I want to go back to our cohort, the 5.8G. And we have, you all have so beautiful and all about energy. And this is the vibes you want to send. Because Penny, when you look at the ages, some people feel okay, they're home and they're defenseless and they have nobody there with them and they don't know what to do. So they automatically dependent on a person.
Yes, to validate them.
Yeah. Even if they're seeing that threat, somehow they're afraid to move on. And it's always about, and I'm talking about the age ones, I'm too old, I can't move fast, what I will do. And that, when we started, we talk about mindset.
Yeah.
And we're saying, and at the 5.8G, and we're saying here, we are alive. Yeah. And that change of mindset and be able to relate to people like you all, watch the shows,
Do
and
things.
Enjoy yourself. And like someone said about Terry and I, how, we're looking so happy and thing. And you know what she said? I wish I could be like you all. And I'm saying, hey.
Just be. Just be.
I wish you could be like us. It's a mindset. As you say, the mantras. I talk a lot about vision and etc. Right. So we on this cohort, look at that, the audience, look at who you all have in front of you all.
OMG.
All about energy. You couldn't want more energy than this. And you all can have the same energy. You may not be actors or performers or writers, but you bring in your creativity, which would just bring out that energy. When you start to think positive and not think age, when you said it, oh gosh, forget about age. What age has to do with it?
I have no...
It's about harnessing the energy because it's, what, as Cecilia said, it's not as easy because it's a cultural indicator as post-colonial people. Yeah. It's not just you who don't value yourself. We grew up in a society that was invalidating you and making you not feel that sense of worth. So that self-affirming needs to go on individually, in your house, in your family, in your community, and extend itself. And you have to look for people who share that to keep building it, because it is very easy to stay in the systemic invalidated position,
I realized I never did that growing up. I never had that. Of course, your family love you, blah, blah, blah. But so I do it to my daughter all the time. And I think she's a lot stronger for it and able to deal right now with this. And my older daughters now, I send them messages. You are amazing. You are, mommy, what is going on with you? You are a queen. You are wonderful. And I'm going to keep doing it.
Because when we were younger, that was not a thing. No. Maybe in some home, but that was not a thing that...
You had to do something to get it. You had to do something to get it.
Yeah.
And if you're bigging up yourself, you're vain. If you're bigging up yourself, what's wrong with you? Humble yourself now.
Yes. You're showing off.
Yeah, you're showing off.
Show off.
Yep. Listen, I think we have really captured more than anything what we wanted to say today, and we are so happy that we've had you on. But I want us to end the segment with you talking a bit about what you are onto now. Now, I look at OMG. I don't really understand OMG. And I think a lot of our cohort don't understand OMG. But I think OMG is, given that you all are the energy behind it, of course, with some other people, I think it is a great example of our cohort shining off and building other stages. So what on earth is OMG? Except, oh my God.
And I like Terry, I know, but I enjoy it.
You mean the
find
show
it's fun.
itself?
No, I
Yes.
watch it, but you know, what's your thinking behind it? And so,
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Because it's a whole new concept.
yeah.
Yes. OMG was brought out by Stephen Dubal. Now, Cecilia and I, OMG is a whole organization because he has OMG on television on TV6, which is there's a segment where they highlight all the international news and what's going on in the cultural scene. But Stephen Dubal, oh my God, OMG. We've been, Cecilia and I, we've been doing a nightly show for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes, before, and then the pandemic came, and then we had OMG. It's a talk show where we involve everybody. We highlight whatever's going on in the country at the time. Well, OMG Caribbean now, what we're doing, we highlighting the Caribbean as much as we can. I mean, it is there to give people a little laugh, to educate people, to entertain people. Yeah. That's basically what the show is about. And
like Steve a magazine show.
Well, is a genius. On Wednesdays, Facebook, you just type in OMG, and it will take you to our shows. 8 o'clock we start.
Yes.
OMG. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to say anything more. I missed that.
It's to create. I know when Stephen, because you used to have an OMG magazine. You have a digital magazine as well as a hard copy magazine. And it's about getting the oh my God moments from people, basically. It's like people review, something like what we're doing here. Releasing and relinquishing some of the little secrets of your existence that we can benefit from and get lessons from, you know? And so finding a community space to share it. So now we're doing a live one. So it's an extension of what I think he always had. And he brought people with from a wide cross-section of lifestyle and backgrounds and cultures to inform on one perspective, because we don't always agree. And that's what makes it wonderful, you know.
What I love about it, and this may or may not be part of the whole program, is when I look at it, it is so relatable because again, you have the cross-section, and again, you three, which is why we brought you here. It says anything is possible at any time in your life once you keep creating and recreating. And that's the point that we want to make. So any parting words, Jennifer, or anyone else?
I listen, so great. It is really, you know what it shows too? You have to be willing to step out of the box and be pioneers. And you all have been waiting, sitting back saying, okay, and Penny mentioned it, waiting on a producer to come to your aid. No, you have the talent within you. You recognized it, you embrace it. And all three of you all decide, hey, we can move forward. And even if it's something different, you're moving forward, but you're able to promote it and have your audience embrace it. And that's all about that. You all are going to be, and right now, creating a fantastic legacy and individually and as a group.
Legacy and inspiration, absolutely.
Legacy.
Oh, yes.
Well, as I was saying too the other day, it's almost, you look around and you realize, wait, I reach here? I am the one they're looking at now, the legacy, because a lot of our mentors have passed in the last couple of years. A lot of them.
Last couple of weeks.
Too many to mention. So you realize, I got a little afraid at one point, but then I realized, no, now it's our turn. We have to take the reins and we have to lead but together.
You're doing it well.
Together. Yeah. And sometimes you have to tell that fear behind you, get behind me, fear, get behind me.
I just want to thank you all for inviting us and thinking so highly of us. You know, it's always a good thing then when we hear other people speak about us, because sometimes, I mean, we think differently. I just want to tell people that aging is living. You know, it is living. It is going on with your life. And do whatever you can to make yourself, if it's just putting on lipstick, you know, putting on a new dress or planting a plant, you know, it doesn't have to, you don't have to be me. Just be yourself and do it the best you can.
Yes, I love that. Do you. You do you.
And be the best you can. It's no like Some people age backwards, but that's okay. My name is Young. So it's, but it has really been a pleasure, Jen and Terry, and definitely bring my other sisters from the other program onto this program with you all. And to make me feel, because part of this is making me feel that I have a right to do it and I need to do it as well. So it's not an easy road. It's not that we live in this on a pedestal of comfortable self-affirmation. It needs to be reinforced all the time. So like just this is reinforcing it. It makes us step out of OMG and realize, wait a minute, we're doing something good on OMG. So we're going to go back to tomorrow's show with a new energy to share with them. The three of us who on this other show that kind of gave us some kudos and so it's a really nice feeling, you know?
It is. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
So Jen, you say bye-bye for us?
Well, listen, this is gonna be bye-bye, you know, because I think this is some continuation of something new that we're gonna be, doing. So great having you all really to energize the third act stage, to continue energizing the third act stage. And we, of course, looking forward to collaborate with you in some way. I am sure we can, and to, be pioneers on the stage, because we are saying we are setting a 5.8 G lively stage. Right, so we thank you and we tell our audience bye for now. Right?
Bye.
50+ Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50+ 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.